Dentures, also known as false teeth, are prosthetic devices constructed to replace missing teeth, and are supported by the surrounding soft and hard tissues of the oral cavity. Dentures can improve people's chewing abilities, their pronunciation, which may be slurred if teeth are missing, their physical aesthetic, and their self-esteem. There are two different types of dentures. Partial dentures, which can be either fixed or removable, and are for patients who are only missing some of their teeth, and complete dentures, worn by patients who are missing all of their teeth. As early as the 7th century BC, Etruscans in northern Italy made partial dentures out of human or other animal teeth, fastened together with gold bands. The materials they used were not likely to stand up against the pressure placed on teeth during eating, and were probably made for cosmetic purposes. The Romans had likely borrowed this technique by the 5th century BC. Examples of such dentures have also been found in Egyptian and Mexican archaeological sites. Indigenous tribes in Mexico replaced their missing teeth with wolf teeth. The tooth was simply inserted into the space where the natural tooth was once located. Ancient Mayans replaced missing teeth with carved stones, bits of bone, or even seashells. The process worked surprisingly well. These materials would fuse with the patient's jawbone for a permanent fix. Wooden full dentures were invented in Japan around the early 16th century. Softened beeswax was inserted into the patient's mouth to create an impression, which was then filled with harder beeswax. Wooden dentures were then meticulously carved based on that model. The earliest of these dentures were entirely wooden, but later versions used natural human teeth or sculpted pagadite, ivory, or animal horn for the teeth. Wooden dentures continued to be used in Japan until the opening of Japan to the West in the 19th century. Hippopotamus, walrus, and elephant ivory were carved into dentures to replace full sets of teeth. Over time, ivory became stained, gave off a foul smell, and were uncomfortable to wear. Regardless of this, these types of dentures were still being worn in the early 1800s, and were only an option for the wealthy, as they were expensive to make. One major source of teeth in the early 1800s was to take them from the dead on the battlefields in Europe. These teeth were in high demand, and actually became a status symbol among the elite. Many teeth were removed for this reason following the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Dentures that included human teeth became known as Waterloo Teeth. In addition to Waterloo Teeth, human teeth were extracted from executed criminals, or even sold by poor people who were desperate to make some money. Contrary to popular belief, George Washington did not wear wooden dentures. He actually had multiple sets of dentures through his lifetime, and those were made of ivory or metal alloys, in which a mix of human, horse, and donkey teeth were added. The first pair of porcelain dentures were developed in 1774 by a British physician. Porcelain teeth looked unnaturally white, and they chipped very easily. In 1820, a silversmith mounted porcelain teeth onto gold plates with springs and swivels, which allowed the teeth to work more efficiently and naturally. In effect, this was the first set of modern dentures. Porcelain was very expensive, and most people could not afford to wear this type of denture. An alternative, made from a hardened rubber called Vulcanite, was created in the mid-1800s. It was invented and developed by the Goodyear family. This provided an ideal base for dentures and was cheaper than gold bases, making them more affordable. Vulcanite could be molded to fit a person's gums and hardened in the same shape to provide a good fit. This type of denture became very popular and widely utilized by people from all walks of life until the 20th century, when acrylic resin became the norm.